Hello guys, welcome to another time out with me on Alec GTV. My name is Alec Godwin and I'm so excited to talk to you about this tiny little camera, or rather ugly tiny little camera. You might be wondering, why on earth is it talking about such an old camera? Like, you know, see how it looks like. It's so old, and you know, yeah, that's the memory it brings. But I started my first musical videos were shot on Panasonic cameras like this. I had a Panasonic, a small tiny one like this. Yeah, I bought about 3 of them. You know why? It was like, it was so cheap back then. You know, at the time I bought this camera, I was way past the league of this camera. I was already shooting in, well, it was still 1080p, but it was full HD. It was a big deal then. We were doing the, what cameras was in then? It was Sony, big TV cameras. We rented them for, you know, those shoulder rig cameras, Handycam, yeah. We rented them and they recorded to mini DV tapes. Of course, if you've been into production a long time, you know what mini DV tapes are. I don't have a sample here, but that's what goes in here, you know. Now, why am I talking about this camera? This camera brings a lot of memories to mind. Because when we couldn't afford the mini DV deck, recording deck, most of them would look like something about this size. The smallest of them all would look about this size, and they probably, because they were so expensive back then in my country, though, back then in Nigeria. I can't remember the price now, but they were really, really expensive, and you know, of course, affordable, but we weren't ready to pay that amount for it. So, if you bought this with a Panasonic or some other cameras, they probably not be able to do this. But this one, when we rented those big high-end cameras, even though it's on mini DV, they could not play back. It was TV station standard. So once in a while, we get the opportunity to have a deck. Sometimes when you rent some of those cameras back then, you also have a deck. You know, you make the arrangement. When the price is right, you make the arrangement to it. But most of the times we use this. This was hot cake back in Nigeria. I don't know about here. I would really, really love to hear your comment, how you guys maneuvered, how you guys survived back then. Did you all buy the HD cam? You know, I mean, I want to know how you guys were, you know, how you guys fed. But this thing was a lifesaver. At the time, I had 2 of them because we had multiple editing suits, and we wanted to increase the quantity of our jobs. So when you shot in those cameras, this will play Panasonic Handycam mini DV tape. It will play a Sony HD tape. Mini DV tape. It will play any camera you throw at it in mini DV format. This camera will play it back. You know, the other manufacturers will play and it will be total, you know, unusable. But this Sony little camera will play any footage back. It was even hard to get a Sony camera that plays back. That's like you could record in and play out. You know, it was not a common feature, but this camera had the feature and could play back. It was usable. It could play back almost anything in a mini DV tape. That is why it is so memorable to me. Like, it was already dead when I brought it from Nigeria. It was a lifesaver. I felt like, you know, I can just let you go after all these years, you know, just, you know, I got so attached to it. Like, you know, I said, maybe, just maybe I'll be able to fix it out here in the US. But when I got here, I was like, I'll just keep it for the records, just to remember someday. I never knew then. I didn't think I was going to be doing a YouTube channel. But then this thing came to mind recently when I was cleaning up the studio. Like, you know, we're still on our journey to the actual final usable or presentable YouTube studio. Yeah, we're still on the journey. So, yeah, we still will take you through that tour. But I found this camera and I remembered, oh, I really brought it, like, you know, and it brought out memories. And then it occurred to me that there was something I could do with this thing. And I'll tell you in another video what came to mind, you know, and why which led to to me thinking about, you know, making this video, because I need to give it away. For some reason, this is useful to somebody else, and someone is going to pay for it. Watch out in my next video. I'll tell you just how much they pay for this camera. To let you know, you know. But then that's not relative to what I'm saying. But this camera was a lifesaver back then. I just wanted to pay my last respect before I gave it away. I am selling this stuff and I feel really bad about it. But I feel one day someone's gonna help me throw it away. So I'll keep it. Now I have a video of it that we will never forget. So please tell me your stories. If you remember this stuff, if you ever use this in place of a HD mini DV deck, if you did that, I like to hear about it. If you if you actually use the HD, if you never knew about this camera, you never used it for this purpose, I also like to know about it. I mean, for those of you that have been into production for a while, you know, for those of you that have been, you know, grinding this for a while. So, yeah, I love to hear your stories. So I just wanted it to be a short, quick video just to tell you that I'm going to miss this guy and I appreciate all you've done for me. And I celebrate you. And I see you. And I wonder what they're gonna do with you, but I gotta let it go. Thumbs up. If you relate to this story, give me a thumbs up. This thing will do a lot to me, to my heart when I look at it, like in years to come. I guess I've done it's not a review. Remembrance, a remembrance ceremony of the Sony. I should even mention the name. It has CAMVATE lens, by the way. You know, and it was 20x optical zoom, Handycam. Would I be able to get the name again? The full name? It's Sony DSLR H028E, something like that. You know, but I've been a big fan of Sony. I don't know how I ended up with Canon, but now I'm remembering, I'm having all the memories. Back then it was Adobe Premiere. In fact, Adobe Premiere, I started, my first editing software was Adobe Premiere, and it wasn't anything pro, it was 6.5. If you ever use Adobe 6.5, please, you gotta make a comment. If you ever use Adobe 6.5, I jumped out when Pro came out. I jumped to Final Cut Pro. But I remember, I think, you know, when I thought about this camera, when I remember how fast I could edit in Adobe Pro, in Adobe 6.5, I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, I should give Adobe another chance, like, because I think my speed for editing kind of dropped. So I'm going to think about it. And you know, the memories this camera brought was such that, and then guess what? We used to transfer. We had the firewire here, the firewire port. Ooh, it was hard to get a camera with firewire. Ooh, I was going to miss that part. And you connect it to your computer, and all your footage, regardless how long, we used to transfer with the wire, HDMI wire, and you will literally watch all the clips you recorded and label them. So we used to get HDMI cable. This was the cable. I actually brought this cable from back home, and this was what went in here. It's an HDMI cable, and I used to get this into my computer, and we'll transfer every clip by clip. If it's 3, and of course we shot with like 4 tapes per music video back then, and then we'll transfer everything and label it. You watch it. You know, even though it was slow, a lot of people don't give much time to watching the clips like they used to. You know, sometimes we end up to receive clips that you could have used after you finished editing. When you're deleting files, you see, oh, I didn't use this clip because you forgot. I think it helped me particularly and made me a better videographer. You know, I already cultivated that. Thank you guys for watching. Yes, you can go ahead and laugh at me in the comments below. But if you're nice, give me a thumbs up. If you relate to this story, give me a thumbs up.